Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Great day. So on behalf of PSE&G, we are really proud to be the presenting sponsor today. I want to just take the opportunity to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. It's so good to see everybody here, and what a great crowd. You know, it's really a testament to the vision and leadership of our county executive and what he's doing for this great county in a very short time that he's been county executive. So Dan, you got a big crowd here for you today, which is good stuff. Dan Benson grew up in Mercer County, Hamilton Township, and went on to receive his bachelor's degree from Georgetown University, where he studied physics and government, before returning to New Jersey, earning his master's in public policy from Rutgers Blaustein School. At 25, he was elected to Hamilton Township Council in 2001, followed by his election to Mercer County Board of Commissioners in 2008. Dan was elected to the Assembly in 2011, and over 12 years as a legislator, he was prime sponsor of nearly 400 bills signed into law. Right. Another day at the office. Another day at the office. In 23, Dan was elected the first new Mercer County executive in 2 decades, pledging to bring a new spirit of collaboration, innovation, transparency to county government. Dan continues to live in Hamilton Township, where he and his wife, Dr. Hande Benson, are raising their son, Nicholas. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to our county executive, Dan Benson.
For those that come to these events frequently will know, I think Frank was supposed to introduce me the last time I was here, but he had a good helper that covered it, and I think we broke the AV system within the first 2 minutes. I'm not sure about the podium. There is a little bit of duct tape involved, so if you see it just start sliding down, just ignore it, it's okay. I gotta tell you, I'm really excited. I'm not one for long speeches. This is long for me, but there was a lot that happened this year, and I think it's really important for us to reflect back. One of the things I learned about being 12 years in the legislature and getting hundreds of bills signed so often, and my chief of staff Sharon knows this, you know, we would get it done, and okay, what's next? What's next? And it's really important, particularly at this time of year, to kind of take a breather and say, okay, where have you been? Where are you going? How do you consolidate your success? And how do you set things up for a really strong start into the new year? So first, I just want to bring holiday greetings to everyone. Happy holidays, Mercer County. How you doing today? I will not take credit for the plus 10 degrees warmer it was today, but it was nice not to be bundled up with hats and gloves and coats. I did ask whether there was a way to do some VX where I could wear the Santa hat and look like I'm coming down the chimney. They told me that wasn't in the budget, so it's probably for the best. Again, I just want to thank Cal English and the Princeton-Mercer Regional Chamber for hosting us for a 3rd time this year. And I think this is probably the biggest crowd, so they deserve a round of applause. And I think we have almost as many elected officials as civilians here in this room, so I want to thank them for being here. The partnerships I've had, particularly with our local elected officials, really has made this year a success. When I was elected as county executive, I made a promise to our community to build a county government that works for everyone. As I look back, and as we look back on the past 12 months, I'm proud of how we followed through on that promise, with real progress toward our shared vision of Mercer County's future. When we took office in January, we knew that our county government faced some serious challenges. It became very clear quickly that these problems in many ways were going to be bigger than even we could have anticipated. But I was determined to make sure that these past problems didn't hold us back from the promise of a brighter future for Mercer County. Challenges drive us and push us to do more as we build an amazing team, and we got to work immediately to get our county back on track. Now, as a former county commissioner, I know that county government can sometimes fly under the radar. But I also know that it touches the lives of every Mercer County resident. There's just too much at stake if we don't get it right. From the single working mom who depends on our Route 130 shuttle to get to work, to seniors and young families who enjoy our amazing parks and playgrounds, to the small business owner expanding their business and creating jobs with our financial assistance. They all depend on functional and responsible county government. For the first time in many years, our county government is once again proactively planning and not just reacting to the problems in real time, or worse, ignoring them. We're bringing in diverse voices from all across our county, and we're making a real difference in people's lives once again. I want to emphasize that we couldn't have done it without our Board of County Commissioners, and I think almost we have everyone here. Let's give them a round of applause. Well, I think we have a majority here. Maybe we can get some business done too while we're here. We'll save that for afterward. We've built a really strong collaborative relationship with the board, and they have been critical partners in every success that you'll hear from today. Now let's talk about how we got here. Early on this year, we took immediate steps to fix the county's finances. You heard me talk about this quite a bit. I'm going to try to recap this a little bit quicker, but the situation was challenging to say the least. The last chief financial officer was removed on August of 2022 after an investigation revealed that he hadn't had proper credentials for years. When we arrived, the state attorney general's office was conducting an active investigation, and a report by the state comptroller had shown a light on significant financial mismanagement, including nearly $4.5 million in penalties for late payroll tax payments and over $10 million in missed state aid filings. The county was far behind our schedule on annual audits, with both the 2022 and 2023 audits far from being complete. It didn't help that many of our financial documents were misplaced, or just flat out wrong, or missing entirely. There were significant operating budget issues due to poor internal controls, resulting in $11 million of over expenditures in 2022 alone that needed to be addressed in our first budget. And more than 2023 to come that will impact next year's budget. Major cost drivers included $5.8 million in debt service, $2.9 million in corrections inmate medical costs, and $2.4 million in youth detention costs that are continuing to rise. And unlike municipalities, counties face a unique type of cap on the amount of taxes that they can levy. Our unionized county employees are spread across 19 collective bargaining agreements, and many were working under expired contracts. On average, these contracts were expired for more than 3 years, and some have been without a contract since 2019. All of that means retro payments and other things, when we close out those contracts, will impact the upcoming budget. Finally, there was no written plan or coherent strategy to fund badly needing capital improvements. Probably no more strange or telling or disturbing than our old county courthouse, where only half of the roof was replaced. Just, you can't make some of this stuff up. It's important to note that as a Band-Aid, the last administration used $12 million in federal American Rescue Plan dollars as a one-time fix to plug the hole in their last budget. Money that could have and should have gone to aiding our county-wide recovery from COVID-19. Now, if you're getting a little overwhelmed by all these facts, I can honestly say we felt that too in real time, and we knew we had to quickly make some tough calls to get our house back in order. So this is what we did. We completed the 2022 and 2023 regular and single audits and annual financial statements. We completed the 2024 bond anticipation note rollover. Previous administration had borrowed over $150 million in bond notes without a plan on how to, because they only lasted a year, on how to roll that over the next year. We got that done. We prepared, presented, and adopted a 2022 annual budget of $425 million, again, with the thanks and the scrutiny of our Board of County Commissioners. We completed it, while we're doing all this, we completed a financial computer system conversion so that we can make sure that lack of documentation never happened again and that proper financial controls would always be there under the software system. We implemented a county-wide standard operating procedures for finance, for personnel, and procurement that was lacking. We analyzed and confirmed all capital, grant, and trust account expenditures and balances. For example, our Open Space Trust Fund account needed to be reconciled to enable the county to meet previous commitments made to our municipalities just for open space. And we've negotiated and settled 7 of those 19 labor contracts all the way up until the end of this year, and we're currently working to settle all outstanding contracts by the first quarter of 2025. I know our men and women that serve the county, that work there through collective bargaining agreements with CWA, AFSCME, Teamsters, PBA. We thank them for all they do for our county because they're making a difference every single day. They're valued, and it's so important for them to know that by making sure we get these agreements done. Working with the Board of County Commissioners, as I mentioned, we passed the 2024 budget in early July. Now that's late in a normal year, but that was still 5 months earlier than the previous administration did in their last budget. And despite all these structural challenges we've made, changes we've made, and one-time costs we inherited, there were structural challenges as well. So to allow us to begin the work of stabilizing our county finances, preserving critical services, and maintaining our credit rating, our first budget contained a necessary tax increase. We recognize the impact that has on our families and have made sure that over the past 12 months, we've made significant strides to right the ship of the county government. So we did that by strengthening our finances. And again, just doing that alone could have taken up the whole entire year. But we decided, no, we have to make sure the good, strong, important task of governing was not left to the sidelines, as well as making sure that critical services continued. Throughout the year, we've structured county departments to promote efficiency, we've launched new programs, and we improved our services. The newly formed Department of Community Services, made up of our previous Human Services, Housing, and Veterans Affairs divisions, have accomplished so much this year. We've provided over 100,000 meals to seniors through our nutrition program for older adults, which is an increase of 15% over the last year. We distributed almost $80,000 worth of senior farmers market benefits to 1,600 low-income older adults, enabling them to access fresher foods. We rolled out the Mercer at Play for All program, a program that provides grants to promote inclusive playground improvements, senior recreation programs, and youth sports mentorship throughout the county. In collaboration with the Rescue Mission, the Trenton Health Team, and the Mercer Alliance to End Homelessness, we launched a first in the state respite program for those that need ongoing medical support but do not have safe or secure housing to return to. Let's give them a round of applause for that. We have helped nearly 10,000 residents with heating and cooling assistance and allocated $1.7 million towards the development of 67 new affordable housing units. We've introduced a new first-time homebuyers program, helping county residents with the closing costs. Now, this is a program that we're looking to expand in the coming years. We've also understand that sometimes the best way to lift people up is to build a stronger economy with good jobs. That's why we've been focusing on economic development and helping our small businesses. In economic development, we've expanded and extended our signature zero interest loan program, supporting over 65 businesses, 41 of which were either minority or women owned. We hired a Spanish-speaking small business outreach director to serve Mercer County's growing Latino business owners. And we took active steps to ensure greater minority-owned business representation in all of our county procurement. We expanded the Route 130 connection bus, which connects even more employees now in Mercer to jobs along that burgeoning Route 130 corridor, from Hamilton and Robbinsville to East Windsor, and now into Cranberry and Monroe and Middlesex County. Because we know good jobs don't follow political borders. Of course, you don't get economic growth unless you have stability and strong infrastructure for public health and safety. And that's something we all saw during COVID-19. So one of the first actions this year was to commission an after-action report examining Mercer County's response to during the pandemic. We found that many important areas for improvement, and using the report as a guideline, we recommitted Mercer County to a culture of preparedness. Now, all of our directors share responsibility in responding to disasters, and all cabinet members are receiving training to help deal with public health and safety disasters. All of government approach is so key during these times. We started work to update our 911 system to improve coverage, communications, and reliability during emergencies, something that we heard time and time again during our transition from our towns. We've updated our emergency master plan and improved partnerships with our local OEM coordinators, municipal officials, and schools. As a level of government responsible for hazmat response, we've developed shared service agreements with Trenton and West Windsor's fire companies and their hazmat teams, ensuring comprehensive hazmat response throughout the whole entire county. And we've conducted emergency training exercises, most notably 2 recent active shooter drills and 2 tabletop exercises to test response protocols and improve policies and preparedness. And one of the most important roles, probably the one that most people think of when they think of our county, one that plays a role in all of our lives, is managing, maintaining, and investing in our infrastructure. From roads and bridges to the airport, to our libraries, parks, and golf courses, the county owns and maintains important infrastructure and community assets that are essential for the well-being, convenience, and quality of life for all of our residents. And I'm proud to report that this year we started work on an incredible number of projects. Our longest county bridge, the Lincoln Avenue Bridge in Trenton, has been in need of replacement for years. This year, our engineering department applied for a federal grant, and with the support of Congresswoman Bonnie Watson-Coleman and our senators, Cory Booker and then George Helmy, secured a record-breaking $47 million to finally begin this project. That's huge. That is the largest federal infrastructure grant that Mercer County has ever received in its history. Yeah. That is, deserves another round of applause, because this was really, and it wasn't the only federal grant we received. We invested $18 million to build, and we already broke ground on the long-awaited Trenton Mercer Airport Firehouse. And when it's complete, we'll have a state-of-the-art facility that will be shared by our airport fire crew, as well as the Ewing Fire Department. And this is just the first of 3 phases of our larger airport terminal replacement project, and an excellent example of the success we've had with collaborating with our municipalities. With the support of our congressional delegation, we secured $4.1 million for a new airport taxiway at the airport, as well as a $2.5 million grant from the highly competitive bipartisan infrastructure law for our terminal, receiving over 5% of the funding needed for this project. We are investing $25 million in ballpark upgrades as part of our effort, and I see the Trenton Thunder team is in different parts here. Let's thank them again for all that they do. We are all working hard to bring back a minor league baseball team that's affiliated with MLB back to Mercer County. And thanks to the support of Assemblyman Anthony Varelli and our legislative delegation, I see Assemblywoman Verlina Reynolds-Jackson from the Budget Committee here. We received already $6.5 million in state aid for that project to date. And infrastructure is not just for us to use, but it's also a job creator. Towards that end, I want to highlight our ongoing partnership with organized labor. Union workers power these projects and so many more. I know my former running mate and colleague Wayne D'Angelo, right over here, as head of the building trades, just want to recognize. We're proud to have signed project labor agreements for the airport, for the Lincoln Avenue Bridge project, and another one is in the works for our ballpark. We're working with New Jersey DOT for the completion of the wharf right next door here along the Delaware, which will eventually feature a county park and hopefully will once again become a key family fishing spot for so many as it was for generations before. We have set aside over $5 million to invest in South Broad Street in Trenton. My office, many of you may know, I've mentioned it so many times. From my office, I can see my grammar school where I went to school right here in the city of Trenton. And working to see that area revitalized is a key priority for myself personally and for our administration. We want to start from our county administration building to the Cure Arena with additional investments all the way down to the James Kearney campus of Mercer County College. This will involve improving outdated infrastructure with new streetscaping and intersections that will be safe for drivers and pedestrians, the addition of bike lanes, road resurfacing, and general beautification. Our team is also weighing opportunities to purchase rundown and vacant lots along this corridor so we can improve parking, we can create more pocket green spaces, while providing opportunities for redevelopment that would increase tax revenue for our capital city. This year, we've also updated our land use ordinance, a project that was a career-long passion of our esteemed and recently retired planner, Leslie Floyd, and our amazing planning department staff. This updated ordinance modernizes Mercer County's development regulations that will create not only safer communities, but easier ways to travel. An quarter enhancement fee to fund safety improvements and complete street initiatives, better access to traffic management across neighboring parcels to improve traffic flow, and updated stormwater regulations to better manage runoff, reduce flooding, improve climate change resiliency, and protect our water quality. All these things are so key. Oftentimes they feel like the wonky part of government, but if you don't have those rules in place, when that development project that everybody tries to oppose, it's usually too late. So having strong planning ahead of time is so key. Among the many things we did after taking office was also to modernize the government that we work in so we could be more productive. I've talked about some of those changes, but I want to add that we've also brought in industry professionals to objectively assess critical areas. IT, corrections, and civil service all needed a fresh look and overhaul. We right-sized departments and filled a number of key vacancies in areas like procurement to ensure we're spending taxpayer dollars efficiently. And thanks to this work, most of our contracts now go through a fair and open bidding process. This makes our government more transparent and ensures that taxpayers are getting the best services for their money. We've also used the results of our disparity study to work to improve the set-aside program for women, minority, and veterans-owned businesses. Because we believe that vendors and contractors our government work with should reflect the diversity of our population, and that the money we spend with your tax dollars should go back into the communities that paid into it. Right. We've consolidated and reorganized departments to make sure that every department and subdivision is held to the same standard. We've elevated engineering and planning to a cabinet level so that they're there to help make sure we have good decision making. We modernized accounting processes and tools, making departments more accountive, but also more productive. More importantly, we improved communications and collaboration between departments, breaking down old silos and reducing redundant work. I can't tell you how many times we were talking with departments, they said, well, we never talked to that department, we never talked to that one. Or the most telling was, I can't tell you how many employees have said when they've come for a meeting with me, I've never been to the 5th floor. That, to me, was an encapsulation of all what we needed to change. I have invited pretty much every division head, second level and lower, into my own office. I've come down to their office, which has surprised them sometimes, but it's important that you get around to see people in the departments, you interact with them, and people talk to each other. Right. Seeing people just interact in the elevator, being excited about service and public service again, is really why all of this is working. So again, I want to thank our county elected officials and all of our county employees for helping to make that happen this year. Let's give them a round of applause. As I mentioned, we've been upgrading technology and software all around, but particularly in procurement and finance. And we created 3 new county offices that we thought were really important. One is an Office of LGBTQIA+ affairs to advocate for and support our community members, helping them better to navigate community government and access services at the state and community levels. Please, thank you. We created an Office of Food Security to address hunger by coordinating a whole of government approach, not only to those that need better food, but making sure not only do they get it, but they get fresher and more nutritious foods to all our vulnerable communities. And I know there's so many people very much excited. You'll be hearing more about this next year. Mercer County's first ever Office of Travel and Tourism. This was so long overdue for a county with a historic capital city, with our 250th on the cusp of being here, all across Mercer County, between our parks, our breweries, our wineries, our just all the different outdoor activities you can have, our amazing restaurants, and our amazing historic properties. How can you not have an effort like this at the county level where that's so key? We're attracting new businesses through that office. We're especially excited to have this office, as I mentioned, as we prepare for the 250th anniversary, and an opportunity to make Mercer County a real hub for the festivities, working closely with our Cultural and Heritage Office, which is well represented here today, who have really taken the lead on that. Another of my priorities from day one has been building a stronger collaborative relationships with each of our 12 municipalities. County government is at its best when it's bringing different levels of government together to achieve shared goals. And our relationship with our mayors and council members has enabled so many accomplishments that I've outlined earlier. We're always looking for new opportunities for cooperation, whether it's through a renewed emphasis on shared service agreements or by using county assets to fill a need in municipal government. We worked with Hamilton Township to preserve Cooser Woods from development, and with Princeton to help them purchase and preserve land with rare forestry and links to other open space across the municipality. We utilize state block grants to help small town revitalization for small businesses and nonprofits in Hightstown. And we work with local leaders to conduct outreach to a diverse array of business owners. We fill gaps in municipal staffing by arranging for our county health officer to simultaneously and temporarily serve as the health officer for Hopewell and then for the city of Trent. We worked with Hopewell Borough to further their Vision Zero goals, making sure that roads are safe, particularly around their schools, by lowering speed limits on county routes 518 and 654. Nobody knows the county road numbers. That's known as Llewellyn and Broad Streets, not this Broad Street, the one in Hopewell Borough. I always want to make sure I say that. And we've also worked with Hamilton Township to lower speed limits on South Broad and Church Streets in the Yardville, Allentown area. Through the Mercer County Improvement Authority, and I know we have representatives from there here, we're playing a key role in the construction of the new Hamilton Township Municipal Complex and School Administration Building. That has already broken ground, and we're really excited by the work for that. When West Windsor's Township Senior Services, and I see our mayor is here, had to decommission a bus for repair, we stepped up and provided them and loaned them an ADA accessible shuttle, making sure that there was no interruption of service to their seniors. And we expanded the number of municipal road resurfacing projects that we're doing all across Mercer County. There's no requirement to do these. These are ones that we do because we know it's good for our towns, it saves them money, and it saves the taxpayer dollars. These are done with our in-house staff, and as I said, it saves dollars and helps them not having to procure for that work. We're proud to be a source of critical support for our municipalities, and I'm excited to continue to work with them to tackle the needs of our residents. If we have any of our mayors here, I see Mayor Rika Ciora, please, Marate, come on, stand up. I just want to, again, thank them. Brian Kennedy over here. In conclusion, our administration had a full plate this year, as you can tell. And even with our many obstacles, we've had a lot to be thankful for that we've accomplished. Again, I'd like to thank our Board of Commissioners. I can't say it enough. They have been such a great partner. I want to thank my staff who spent weeks putting together all the materials that we needed for today. Even we were a little surprised at how much we got done this year. Leadership is important, but nothing happens without a strong team. And I want to recognize my cabinet for rolling up their sleeves and putting in a lot of long days and nights. Can I have my cabinet please stand up and be recognized? My gratitude doesn't stop there. As I mentioned multiple times, I'm grateful to every county employee for the work that they continue to do, implementing our vision of the government that is transparent, innovative, and collaborative. But most importantly, I want to thank the people of Mercer County for your trust, ideas, partnership, and patience during our first year and the work that we have to come. Together, we have tackled some hard problems head on, and we've started to lay the groundwork for even more meaningful progress in the months and years to come. As I've said, the work is far from over, and we need your help input still. There'll be more tough decisions ahead, particularly at budget time, but we're on the right track. Together, we will make Mercer County government something we can be proud of. We will make Mercer County work for everyone. God bless, and have a wonderful holiday and a great St. Jude.